The federal government has unveiled plans to rescue Australians stranded in China's Hubei province, including Wuhan, as we just mentioned, where the coronavirus first emerged. Joining us live now is Charlotte Mortlock from Sydney Airport. Charlotte, they'll be quarantined on Christmas Island, we've just heard.
Yeah, Sam, it's certainly an extreme measure and one that I don't think has happened before. It's a pretty interesting one. We know that this coronavirus is continuing to spread. We just heard in that press conference there the latest numbers. It's believed around 6,000 people have been diagnosed with the coronavirus, and now that death toll is at 132. We also got an update. The number of coronavirus cases in Australia does remain at 5, but there is likelihood that we will actually see that a rise to more numbers as we see people continue to be tested. Now, it was a pretty lengthy press conference there we heard from Scott Morrison speaking about not only the evacuation that will take place. We didn't really get a time frame on that. He said that it will take some time for all of the logistics to come into place. He did say that there are around 600 Australians in Wuhan, which is the epicentre of the coronavirus. He said the priority will be with vulnerable people. Now, obviously, we know that most of these cases that have actually resulted in a death have been in elderly people. So the priority will be for those most vulnerable, obviously the elder ones and younger ones. But as he said, 600 Australians are in Wuhan, and I believe the plan is that all of them will be evacuated, but certainly at this stage those details do remain hazy. We know that they'll be coming in on Qantas planes. Qantas have agreed to help the Australian government with this, but as for their arrival time or date, we still don't know. He said there's also a plan to roll out more face masks. Now, even here at Sydney Airport, where I am, a lot of people are wearing face masks, obviously concerned with the threat of the spread of coronavirus, and because of the smoke that we've had not only across Sydney but across huge parts of the country because of this bushfire crisis, we have seen a depleted number of face masks available. So the government today announced that 1 million face masks will be released. Those will go to pharmacies to be then given out to people and distributed to protect them. Obviously, a lot of people are very scared about this, and that's very a practical and, I guess, a warranted feeling at the moment. It does certainly feel like every hour we're getting new updates with cases and the death toll as well. But this is certainly an unprecedented measure, evacuating people from Wuhan, bringing them back to Christmas Island. So he also said in that press conference in regards to that measures will be taken with the Australian Defence Force trying to create as much support they can in Christmas Island, not only to take care of the people that are coming in from Wuhan, but also the local community there, and that those two areas are going to be quarantined from each other. He did say at this stage they're expecting the incubation period to take about 14 days, but that will definitely fluctuate based on medical advice that they receive. Scott Morrison did speak about some of the complications that are going to arise during this operation. Take a listen.
I want to stress that we cannot give a guarantee that this operation is able to succeed, and I also want to stress very clearly that we may not be in a position, if we're able to do this on one occasion, to do it on another occasion. We have already, as I announced yesterday, moved our consular officials out of Shanghai. They are en route now and on their way to Wuhan to provide us with a presence on the ground to coordinate what we are doing here.
So a few other interesting things that came out of that press conference there in Canberra. Only 20% of infected cases have a severe disease. So to most, this is actually just a mild disease, but it's certainly the contagious aspect that is the most concern. We know that now a case has been confirmed in Europe to be person-to-person caught. So that is certainly a concern. It was also mentioned that this is not going to be a new precedent, that of course the Australian government can't do this on every occasion that we do have a virus that comes up like this, such as the coronavirus. And the Prime Minister also did say that there is no guarantee that it will work, but of course they are taking every precautionary measure that they can. They'll be working in partnership with the New Zealand government. Now, it wasn't quite clear whether that means that we'll also be evacuating New Zealanders as well from Wuhan, but also he mentioned that the Pacific family would be a priority in trying to assist them with getting out of Wuhan at the moment as well. The travel advice to the whole nation of China is do not travel. Now that is a level 3. I should rephrase that. The travel advice for the whole of China is reconsider travel, and that's a level 3 warning. To the Hubei province, it's a level 4, which is do not travel.
Charlotte Mortlock at Sydney Airport, appreciate the update.